Okay, just because that didn't go on long as long as I thought, we'll just go ahead and do this. Not that those episodes are that much longer than that typically anyway. Even if I don't get through every single hero, I'll still probably... Why does this keep messing up? It obviously should be showing mine. Like, why would it show somebody else's archive? So Cross Derby, I think I lost that too. Right, this one was actually very cool. Even though some of these have to do with so many knights, right? At least in a game where everything is a knight, they're all equally bad. So I guess you can't complain. Let's go ahead. We'll do that. That kind of bugs out somehow. Okay, so show me everything. I think we're getting close to the end, assuming that these are all inclusive, but some of these I obviously still haven't done. Emperor's Tomb. Some of these are fucking wildly complicated though. Crazy Cavalier, we did more like J.R. Smith when he was dribble the clock out instead of trying to shoot the ball, right? In that one game, obscure reference. Minus 18, minus 55, so we obviously lost. Let's go ahead and try this one. Emperor's Tomb. Past, why is it called Emperor's Tomb? Because that's when it's going to be when I'm done with it, because that means I'm going to obviously beat them. But no, obviously bury them. Custom position Emperor's Tomb giveaway. Oh, not giveaway. First to lose all pieces or stalemate wins. Capturing is compulsory. I hate that. Bear piece roll. Pairs with only one remaining pieces are forfeit. But how does that work with the stalemate then? I don't get it. This is gonna be complicated as hell. Like, it doesn't even tell you about like what all the pieces are. The grasshopper thing can be very confusing. What was the first variant that had grasshoppers in them? Like, some of these are so wild. In fact, some of these pawns I don't even get. These ones move like all three. This one I actually don't know how it moves. Maybe it means that it can capture forward too. Like, it just moves like a regular pawn, but it can capture. And all these are like kind of dead pieces, that means. Grayed out. Which means they must be the dead bodies of, I don't know what the hell this is. Like, what is even the point of this when... like, there is no royal king, so there's two kings. So how does that even make sense? What's the point of them if they... Like, don't get me wrong, these are cool in theory, but like, they're so random. Like, I could have made this just random blocks here that you can't pass. Like, it's just a total mess. It doesn't look like any logical, coherent consistency to it at all. It's just a bunch of random assemblage of pieces, some of them alive, some of them dead. And the one thing I love about this is it guarantees that you can find a match, because this is like, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Maybe nobody's playing this mode, but they will now because I'm hosting it. So, right, somebody will join, which is, again, a feature that every single game in existence should have. Whether it be a card game, whether it be anything else, where you can create your own rule set, and then it's up to them whether they want to play it or not. So this one moves kind of weird because it's like a Jiang Ji horse plus a... If it was just like a horse period, that'd be fine. But then it would look like a horse plus a... You know, horse with some other visual. But the fact that it has the bishop there and the dragon wing is to indicate the fact that it moves in some sort of other weird pattern that's hard to explain. Yeah, I never even care about the rating. The only thing I care about is the time. And the reason why is because, you know, you should always put that much time in to try to figure it out. So capturing is compulsory, which makes this very confusing. Or it means that, oh, I kind of get it. So the fact that they give you so much fodder here to take means that it gives you options. So you want to capture in the least, you know what I mean, like least impactful way possible. Oh, that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. So in other words, you could have an option to capture your opponent's piece, but you could choose instead to capture one of these as many turns as you possibly can. And therefore, so the strategy is probably just stay away from your opponent's piece as much as possible and just let them come to you. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know if I've ever seen it in something. Probably I have. These are also like the Jiang Ji horses. So everything is just awkward. The ship moves basically like a rook. It's basically the equivalent of, it's the Chaturangji equivalent of the wagon, or whatever you want to call it, the chariot. And so they both move like a regular rook. So the chariot back in the day was busted. That was the original overpowered piece. Like, it was basically the queen equivalent because there was nothing, the royal advisor sucks. So the wagon slash ship was actually the best piece on the board. Or like I was talking with a friend earlier, like coming up with a different rock paper scissors, like a boat versus a plane versus a tank or something. So the tank beats or like a submarine, right? So like the tank beats the submarine somehow because it's on land, so it has the high ground. But then the submarine beats the plane, the jet, because it hides under the water and the ship can't find it. And then the jet beats the tank because it has air superiority. Like, it doesn't make complete sense, but you could kind of turn it into something like that. Or like, let's come up with the rock paper scissors for chess version. Like, the rook beats the bishop because, well, like, for example, the knight could beat the bishop because he can touch every color. So he could just go on a color that the bishop can't touch in a 1v1 and therefore just win. So even with my objectivity in a 1v1 match, my objectivity that always says the bishop is better, which it is, in a 1v1 setting, it would make sense for the knight to win. The knight beats the bishop because it can go to the other color square. The bishop beats the rook because I don't know why, really, between those two. But no, the knight should be able to beat the bishop. The rook should be able to beat the knight because the knight just sucks. And then somehow the bishop can beat the rook, but I don't know exactly why. You would explain that. One's moving in a T pose angle, and one is moving in a diagonal. So why would one beat the other? I don't get it. Yeah, I keep forgetting about these stupid ads, or even as much as I'm bloviating that, we always get to do something. We always get to find a match. For once, we're actually not getting one. King safety, but no, I love the sheer variety of these. In fact, I feel like there's a lot more than ever what I remember seeing before. Some of them are even kind of hidden away. Maybe people just don't like this one, but I don't like the fact that capturing is compulsory. I'd be happy with it just overall. This is like a whole dungeon maze, like turn chess into like an open world fucking. People joke about that, but turn chess into an open world like actual exploration game. But that would be so cool. Like, you go through a tomb that's like 1,000 spaces, and you like kind of explore through it and find all these traps and find all these environmental hazards and other AI and enemies, and then you go through with your army and you try to basically eventually meet your opponent and beat them there. There could be all kind of creative extrapolations that you can do. So I want to move my pieces as little as possible and just let them come to me. Or maybe what you're trying to do is just like move the same piece back and forth. Wait, but if capturing is compulsory, then how come I can do that? That doesn't make sense. How is capturing compulsory if you... What? How? How does this even make sense? I'm cheating. Just let them fucking do it. I don't care. What the fuck is going on? I bugged out the game. Maybe these ones don't count. Like, if I just do this, then you'll eventually... This is so bullshit. If I just do this, I'm cheating the game. How are you allowed to do this? I don't understand. Capturing is compulsory. Or no, now it'll be compulsory. But by what? This thing that moves in the Zhang-Ji weird way that doesn't even make sense? So I'll only do it if I have to do it. This might actually be the optimal way because, again, you're trying to lose, right? First, to lose all pieces or stalemate. But if you only have one piece, something happens too that it says, so I don't get it. I could be trolling, I could be a GM smurfing, but it doesn't mean that I would know what the fuck is going on here. I'm unironically just fine with it. I guess these things don't count towards the capture compulsory thing, but I thought that would be the whole point, that they would give you an alternative, which maybe they still do, but... Oh no, I blundered my everything, by which I mean I win the game, which is dumb. But you would think, oh, the worse you are, the better you'll do because you're an expert at losing your stuff. But no, there's a certain saying like that, right? Like it's harder to get every question wrong on a test than it is to get every question right, because you would have to know, or no, it's just as hard at least, because you would have to know what's right, and or you couldn't, by sheer accident you'll get some of them right even if you're just randomly guessing in a multiple choice context. And so you're basically able to, I don't know what the point of this game is, actually. I'm gonna get banned for trolling, but like I don't understand. How are you letting me do this? And why are you playing it like this? Maybe if you take both of the kings you win, but I don't see why that would even matter. Like your pieces are way worse off than mine. For now I'm gonna have to keep taking shit. Right, because I can't really move shit back even if I want to. Or I like the Thermopylae thing because you were able to, kind of have like a funnel point and go in there. I'll recreate historical battles in chess, and that'll be a variant, which is, exactly what Thermopylae is about. So I should win because he should have to capture my shit. Or maybe he's just sacking stuff. You would think by not moving stuff is good because he's the one who's going to be forced to take things, but... Does that mean he has to take there? I don't even know how this piece moves. Or I don't know what the hell is happening. He takes there. I take there. That was kind of a mistake. I didn't realize this thing would run rampant like that. It's going to lose me the whole game. Holy shit. Can you finally take it with the Jiangxi fucking clown horse? Jesus Christ. Go here, you take. You just take, then you take. These are the kind of moves. You just let it run through your whole shit. Right, you have no choice but to take. Then I have no choice but to take. So somehow, even though I was losing the game, I was just moving back and forth the whole game, he ends up actually kind of winning, which makes no fucking sense at all. It makes no sense. But okay, dude. How the fuck did that happen? Just by me moving back and forth, but they were still presenting and offering up trades in such a way that it makes no sense, bruh. You go here, then he's forced to take. So he has to make me forced to take, but there's no way to force it. Okay. Red 1. Okay, dude, look. I don't care. That one's annoying. It's fine. Enchanted Woodland. Now, I'm pretty positive I did this one. Or I guess I didn't. I probably did the mini forest. Some of these are kind of hard to even tell, though, right? Like, what if we say all time, and what if we say mini... Right? It should be mini forest and mini house. It was the same thing, but just with the spells on top of it, which is absolutely bonkers, right? The amount of depth that would have to it. So we didn't do it. I'm at least going to assume that that's accurate. So let's just try this. The inhabitants, let's see what it says there. The woodland and its magical inhabitants await in this cross between mini forest and spell chests. Which this is one that almost shouldn't even be there because it's like, this is just one you could create yourself. Cast a spell which will remain on the board for 2 moves before making spells. Spells are limited. Wait, what? On the board for 2 moves before making a move. Spells are limited, recharge after 5 full turns. Are limited, but recharged, meaning you can't use them back to back, obviously, and therefore the same spell cannot be cast the same 2 moves in a row. Use a jump spell on another piece. Yeah, like you have already the cricket to do that, though. On another thing, hop over like it isn't there. Use a free spell to prevent spells from moving. Something 3x3 area effect. Be careful. Any piece, including your own, will freeze. Enters the spell area. Custom position. Use spells to find a checkmate or king capture. Capture the king. Different promotions. 12th rank. Okay. This one is absolutely mind-boggling, but... So I lost this one. This is a combination of 2 sort of first playthrough permadeaths that I failed. I lost this one in the mini forest because I let the cricket take my king because I didn't know that they could move sideways. I thought they could only jump over stuff diagonally, right? But they can move like from here to here apparently too. So I lost that on a first attempt, and then I lost spell chest twice in a first playthrough permadeath because when it first came out I did it and I lost the first game and I only gave myself 1 chance. Then in this permadeath variant gauntlet I also did the same thing where I lost the first game. So clearly this is not going to be the best thing. But I was doing actually pretty well in the forest game itself, the mini forest, but then I didn't realize that that's how that would work. Like they jumped over to here and took this, which was like a mistake or something. But then, or maybe there was nothing even here at that point. But then they jumped to like my king who was here, and I had no notion that they could randomly jump sideways because I had never seen that it could do that. Even when you click it on your turn or on their turn, it makes it seem like, oh, you can pre-move and move it anywhere, but it's not super clear what that means because you can't do that when, I don't know, it's just but no, like this is the kind of thing, oh, you could just add the spells to like any other game, right? Like you should just use it as much as possible. No, but you should always use it like reactively because they're about to kill me, but then I could freeze their thing that is about to kill me. So this thing can move. Again, it jumps over a piece, and I forget exactly. It'll jump and only capture here, or it'll jump and it can capture anywhere. So like it could capture, if this wasn't there, it could capture this like right now. Something like that. But it can also go sideways or up and down, I feel like, too, in the same sense, maybe. I forget how even some of these pieces move, right? The bishop is just a regular bishop. The camel just moves like one extra square from the knight, and then this thing moves just one square forward. This thing is like an elephant, which is garbage. This thing I actually forget, and it often doesn't tell you even here. Rapid tactical. Obviously, none of my ratings really come into play because the only ratings I'm going to have are variants. And so we have, obviously, just the base 1200 rating that you start with on, like, a new account on here. Although sometimes you can start with, like... Sometimes you can start with, like, 1700 if you say, like, you're an expert player. But then you'll quickly be shaken back to reality. I'll just play one game of this just to try it. I'm not too happy with the whole spell element. I don't know actually what this does. I have no idea. It looks kind of just like a regular bishop, but it clearly couldn't be. These are elephants, so they'll like jump over stuff. And the fact that half the spaces are blacked out and you can't go there is also confusing because I forget, like, everything moves then like this. So there's certain interactions that maybe don't make sense. Like the king can't go there, right? It can only go diagonal. Which is maybe how it ended up there. Like I moved it here, here, then here, and I was trying to do something else. So the camel is definitely interesting. You know, we saw some crazy fork with the camel. Probably not in this mode, but... so just remember what the grasshopper can do. You know, some of these are so wildly creative that they're actually awesome. It's kind of hard to understand them very quickly. I would assume most people don't know what they're doing in that regard either, but you know, sometimes they do. Like, who is really playing this game like ever? And apparently nobody, but somehow, you know, when it comes down to it, maybe people do know what they're doing or whatever, but like this game is objectively more complicated than chess, which it actually might be, including the possibilities with the spells, including the possibilities with the different pieces and their movement patterns, and you know, all this kind of thing. Let's see an opening theory for this game. Let's see, you know, for various variants that we have. Like, if you take them as seriously as regular chess, you might be surprised. Wants to play. When was that though? Game already started. But yeah, we've had a little back and forth rivalry with stars. You know what? Let's see if he wants to play a game while we wait. Maybe I'll go on my Discord. But the point is that obviously that's not even what I'm trying to use. Obviously we have the simple fact that we're able to, whatever. Sometimes I'll play these kind of. Sometimes I will play, what do you call it? I kind of just don't want to show that on stream necessarily, but I guess it doesn't matter. Just because I'm bored waiting for this, or just because I have time. It doesn't have to be like right this second either, but then again, I'm kind of tired, so I just wanted to play one of these. But no, this is the kind of thing I would do. I would host my own variant tournament or something like that. But I love all these formats that I do, that I have such a commitment or such a cohesive background to it, that I love permadeath runs in general of games, just like try to beat a game without dying. But then I also look at it from a perspective of basically being able to turn it into other things, like first playthrough permadeath or permadeath with other, you know, characters in multiplayer games or other things like that. Okay, so you look at it here and you look at it from a perspective that I don't know what actually this does. I have no idea. Let's just do some pawn play. So the pawns are not going to be worth very much. Clearly, this is theory. Clearly, he knows what he's doing. I'm 1526 for no real good reason. Let me see. This thing can't even move. Let's move this thing out there. So if you move it here and he takes, then I can easily take back. So there's no issue with doing that. The elephants are garbage, so I don't even want to use them. He uses it there, and then we do it here. Right, we want to keep the things more so on the king side. So it's 1-to-1, which I did. Okay, that's fine. Basically, effective trade. Now this thing we got to put in a key spot that's going to be valuable for later on. Or there was some weird sort of trick play that you could do. Like if you... I forget what it is. You could mate the king very easily if they just make like one bad trade, but I forgot already what it is. But this can only move like one square, maybe in each direction, which is nothing to do with it being a bishop then. So if we move this, then you could take that, but you don't want to do that, I guess. If you go here... I don't really understand, but... You go to here, they would take, I would take, they would still take, or something. If we go to here now, we're putting a lot of pressure on this particular square. You're putting this pressure onto here. We could put this thing onto there. So this is not a bad... Oh, I keep forgetting that the spells are even a thing. Like, all I would have to do is... Well, but what would the jump even matter? If you could go here, you jump this, and then I don't understand exactly. So if there was a piece here, I could jump it, but in what way does that make sense? Like, I don't... Like, we'll just play it like that doesn't even come into play, but... Because the cricket can already jump. So it would mean, like, okay, I'm here. What is this? What is this? They're just gonna probably mate my dumb ass, I bet. You go like this, and you take a camel, and then you can't take it back, I guess. Wait, but how? What does exactly this mean? I don't know. These things only move like 2 squares in each direction, so I really don't understand. We'll take it with the cricket. I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. So it's still frozen, which means you can't take it, but mine's frozen too. So does that mean... What exactly does that mean? Like if you took here... No, but you could take with too many other things, I bet. You should be able to take this with no repercussion or way. No, it jumped. I don't understand. I don't get it. Now you could take this probably. I guess. Maybe. Or I don't know. I have no idea what's happening. It's still apparently like even-ish material, but I have no idea what's going on. The bishop is like arguably the best piece too, because... So maybe logically you should be able to take this with that, which I don't fully get, but... If I go here, you're going to be forced to do something with that. Or, you know, if I move this, you can just win the game. Because that's the whole point with the jump. Right, they could just do the jump. Even if you did this and I took with this, no, but I could take with the stupid ass elephant. So even if that was the case, you could still do it. So some of this is very confusing because I thought that, see, I'm not going to the next square, but I guess because this counts as a square, I don't know what's happening. I don't fully get how all this stuff works, but we'll just go with it. Let's just bring the thing out, I guess. You could probably take here, and this is not covering that, so I don't understand actually, but so they go like to there. We go to here, we can't take back, or we could take back though. So what happened? You could take there with no repercussion actually at all because it's a stupid ass thing. Or you would take with the grass. Oh, whoops, I misclicked. Okay. Okay. All right, it's not a big deal. 13 to 14 points. I don't know. This is so confusing. I can't even remotely figure out what's going on. You go to here, and then you jump something, and then you mate the king, I guess, maybe. At least all the heavy hitters are off the board, except for the cricket, which, again, theoretically should be able to take a number of things, but maybe he just doesn't know how it works or something. You'll take with that. These are pretty good pieces, but they kind of just sometimes don't make sense. You can take that there. You shouldn't be able to take anything with this because nothing is like in line of sight. Alright, so we just win that overall, which I'm not going to pretend to remotely understand what the fuck happened there. I almost don't even want to play another game because that's just too much for my brain to handle right now. The spells ended up not really even coming into play is the whole point. Secretly the most overpowered game in existence. 500 plus units to collect, including the classics, diverse ability, melee, range, passive, etc. Strictly, no unit is strictly better than another. No rarity is considered stronger. Gameplay strategy, tactics, zero RNG of any kind. Huh. But yeah, I think I have seen maybe a reference to the summer, but I never played it. Or again, the problem might just be that always the player base is sometimes hard to find in these.
Excuse me, can I get this?
Had 500 plus different pieces 2 years ago. Yeah, thankfully at least it's been preserved then on Steam, even if the Flash version isn't there. Yeah, this actually looks pretty sick. Maybe I'll try it on my next Saturday format or something. Or I could even do it on Tuesday, because that's still technically chess.
Different, unique, wild, powerful, but
Let's see if he actually plays an online match to imply that there are actually people playing it, which there really aren't. So many of these cool ideas out there that
you move the militia. We basically just had. He can move it to the side, and then suddenly my necromancer's in danger. Who I would really like.
I wonder who this guy is too. Like, is he somebody who's actually good at regular chess, or he just happens to be a gaming channel who's playing it? It'll be like some secret grandmaster who's actually trolling people. The biggest gatekeeping game in existence is always chess. Used to be alive. Damn, I guess I missed the boat. Or this even is still an AI that he's playing against. And yeah, I'd be impressed if AI can even figure all this stuff out, because it's nothing like regular chess. 200 coins, 50 coins. I wonder what the business model would have been with this, to buy all kind of crazy cosmetics, or maybe just, you know, other cards. Pay to win chess game. That one video triggered me so much. Is chess pay to win? Let me react to my thing since debunking it. Since we're on the chess subject anyway, Global Strike, where is it? Like, yeah, this clown.
Is chess paid?
Is chess pay to win? I think the biggest problem with this that people think is they don't realize. Yeah, I'll actually try it myself probably tomorrow. But basically, it would be fun to even play against AI. But basically, what I think they mean with this is it's like pay to play. Like, okay, you have to go to a tournament. So the act of traveling to a tournament would cost you money. So therefore, it's pay to play. And you have to pay an entry fee oftentimes to get into a game and stuff like that. And it gives you an advantage that if you have a tutor growing up and you have rich parents and you have, all this kind of resource, all those things will help. But it's really misframed because it's like that helps with everything, right? If you have a tutor in other things in life, like in math or science, that can help. But that's not what pay to win means, though. It helps you, right? But pay to win would mean like you can buy an extra queen. Like, oh, I'm losing a game in a tournament and I pay $1 million to the venue and they give me like an extra queen to use or something. So it's in the course of play. That's what pay to win means. Is it helps you actually as you're playing the game. It doesn't help you improve outside of competition, just like learn and study and stuff like that. It's so stupid. Let me see what I actually said. I can't remember. But yeah, that is definitely stupid because the biggest thing is oh, it's 8 fucking minutes long. Look at essentially what he says. Holy shit. Yeah, school can be pay to win if you have tutors and rich parents or whatever. Damn, this got 900 views. Pay attention to win and study and put in time and all that. And even as much as I hate studying, it's still not an issue of money. It's just an issue of time and effort. Like, anybody can do it. Bro's from Yappertown, but I'm the quiet gamer, which I'm really not like that anymore. Bro just yapping. This is a talent that you can perfect. Having resources will help you make you better, but that's fine. That doesn't mean that it's unfair, right? Having money to buy books, that does help, especially in the past. That would have been better. Now you have the computer and stuff is much easier, but that's not really, that doesn't mean it's pay to win though, right? Like, so having resources in anything would make you better. So that's fine. Right, again, that's just like life privilege. So if your parents are rich, you're going to have a lot of opportunities that you might not have otherwise. Right, in a lot of areas, you can have a swimming pool at your house and practice to be a swimmer, things like that. But again, pay to win would just be a more literal sense where, again, you can just buy an extra piece or buy a special resource that you can't get otherwise. So like I can, queens for sale where you can't use a queen unless you pay, or you get a special piece that's even better, whatever, that just in a tournament I can buy the privilege of having 2 queens instead, or 3 rooks, or whatever the fuck. And then sometimes even in card games, people will think about that where, oh, the fact that it takes so long to get cards, but even that's not pay to win. That's just like, it's an option, but it'll just take you longer, but you can still earn it through in-game currency, right? But you could argue that's still pay to win in the sense that, if there's a big tournament, you're not going to be able to get the kind of cards right away that other people would have been able to get in the same amount of time, right? So it will give you an advantage that way, but still, like, you can earn everything in chess that, the same way. It would just make it easier or save you time. But even that's, you're not like collecting the pieces. I don't know. It's just stupid. But no, that would be the literal interpretation. You would have to like be able to buy some competitive advantage. Either you can buy rating or you can buy pieces or certain advantages in the course of actual play. Okay, see you tomorrow.